morning, guys. Today is Sunday, June 26, 2016. My name is Kiara Williams, and I am the mother of a child with autism. And basically, I've been wanting to do a vlog for a while because I feel like people don't understand what us as mothers go through that have, or not just mothers, parents in general that have children with disabilities. And what kind of got my feathers ruffled is this video I've been seeing on Facebook that's in rotation about a child that is having a tantrum. And I'm going to play it for you. Okay, the meme reads, "What would you do?" And there are several comments on this video of people talking about what they would do. They would whip this kid. Why is he so big and has a pacifier in his mouth? The parent is bad parenting. She should never allow her child to act like this. And, basically blaming her, putting her down. And, the saying, like, you never know what's going on until you walk a day in somebody's shoes. You never know what they go through. It's so true. I had my son when I was 22. He was not diagnosed with autism until after his second birthday. In fact, he was typically developing and he had an onset of autism. And that's something I'll get into in another blog that I do as well. I guess the reason why I'm doing this today is to make people aware, to express my frustrations, to let other mothers know that they are not alone in this situation. To let other parents know that they're not alone and that it's not over. Just keep fighting, continue to move forward, keep going on. Make sure your child has the best that you can give them and continue to love them. But what I am going to address is a few comments that were made, which was that they would do, like, physically, like, whip this child if they saw this child doing this. And I think that's just completely irrational because we don't live in a generation where whoopings affect children today. And if they really affected us like we thought they did, then we probably wouldn't have the generation that's currently going in the direction that they're going in like this right now. I'm not saying that people should not whoop their kids. What I am saying is everything has situational circumstances, flat out. For those that are making the comment that this is bad parenting on her behalf, I think you're delusional, and I think you're completely out of line. She cannot control the actions of her child. Everybody is responsible for themselves. Now, what I will say is, being a mother of a child with autism that is nonverbal, that does not speak, there are several things that could have triggered this behavior. And I think people have this misconception that autism has a face. Like, no one child has the exact same symptoms of another child. They might be very similar, but they're not the same. And there's so many different levels or classifications to autism that you wouldn't even know that my son had autism until you tried to communicate with him or have a conversation with him. And I think that's what kind of makes me mad, because it's like people expect us as parents. And maybe I'm just saying this because he's my son, but a lot of people walk up to my son and try to speak and he doesn't respond, and I have to explain to them that he has autism and that he's not going to respond, that he's not going to talk until he wants to. I guess one of my other things that frustrate me is it's like I kind of feel like there's a lot of different cultures, beliefs, and ways of life that get bashed. And I mean, I guess I'm fearful for like what my son has to go through as a child with autism that will one day more than likely have to go out into the world on his own and attempt to survive, because I'm not going to always be here. I mean, I watched a video on Facebook like maybe a year ago of a guy. He looked like he was a young teenager, and he was riding the RTA in Cleveland, and there was some other guys on the bus beating him up. They were trying to like rob him. They were taking the stuff out of his pockets, and he didn't have any money. He had like chicken bones in his pocket. And you know, this video was viral, and I was upset because there were so many other people on the bus and nobody stopped to help this kid like at all. I am my son's biggest advocate. Like, I mean, if I don't protect him, I don't feel like anybody else will. I had an incident where I was in the Apple store in Beechwood, and there was a couple in there, and they were pissed because of the noises that my son was making. When we walked into the store, my son had his harness on, which had, I guess they call it a child leash. He had the big box of Cheerios, big yellow box of Cheerios. There were no Cheerios in it, but it was just a big box of Cheerios. And there were, he had something else in his hand. And I had my infant with me at the time. He was like maybe 3 months. And I was sitting at the counter waiting for someone to help me. And I kept hearing this couple say, that noise that he's making is really annoying. And I'm getting frustrated because I had an appointment and I'm waiting. And I can't stop him from making this noise. The lights excite him. After 30 minutes of being out and about in a public place, like, he's going to have this type of reaction. And it got to the point where the man of the couple actually approached me. Like, he was walking towards me like, you need to shut your kid up. And I had to get up and physically push this man out of my face because I didn't know what he was going to do to me. He was walking up on me. But at the same time, like I explained to him, my son has a disability. No, I'm not going to shut him up. No, I'm not going to make him be quiet or anything. Well, you need to keep him at home. And I just think that's completely ridiculous. I'm not ever going to keep my child in the house because other people want to feel comfortable, because other people don't like to see him throw a tantrum, because other people don't like to hear him scream. He's a human just like everybody else. And you guys want to say they're not different. Okay, then stop treating them like them. Stop treating them like they are different. Stop looking at them crazy when they do stuff that would be deemed as unacceptable to you. I mean, and just to bash the parents in general, like, you don't know what that lady goes through, or any other mother or father of a child with autism goes through. My son also has generalized epilepsy as well as having autism. And some days he does not sleep at all. He might sleep for 3 hours. So guess what? I only get 3 hours of sleep. So sometimes I'm running off of fumes. So sometimes when he has a tantrum, I just have to let him tantrum because I'm so exhausted and I'm so frustrated at that point that I have to let him do what he needs to do to get that out of his system. And I think it's completely irrational for you to offer a solution to any child that they just need a whooping. Sometimes y'all have to understand that we don't live in the same days and times that we did before. And you need to know that there are other solutions to, you know, offering discipline to your child or offering help for that child. Sometimes you got to get down to there's a bigger issue that causes this to be the way it is. As far as, you know, a lot of parents, like, they just throw in the towel. They want to get up. They give up. They want to seem like they don't see the silver lining, and they're like, this is just the end of it. They don't know what else to do. I just encourage you to keep going. I encourage you not to give up, because at the end of the day, you never know what happens with that child. He might come out of it. She might come out of it. And a lot of these kids are extremely smart, like intelligent. They just don't know how to verbalize it. They don't know how to express it in ways that we express ourselves. And I just think that people need to be a little bit more careful about their wording and about bashing moms and dads about how they choose to parent or interact with their child. First off, it's not your business. The second thing is, if you're gonna look, if you're gonna stare, offer help. Don't just stand there and watch it. Nothing pisses me off more than people stopping what they're doing to stand around and watch my son have a tantrum. And third, if you're not gonna do that, keep it moving. Don't help. Don't talk. Don't say anything. Don't record it. Just keep going. That would be what I would offer a solution to you. My thing is, you never know what that person is going through. And that one thing that you say that's negative could be something that completely shut that person down because they might have already been in a bad space. Offer a positive, like comment, pat them on the back, tell them to keep going, keep trying, don't give up, because that might be what saves that person's life. That might be what makes them get up and do something different for their child or get some other form of help. Secondly, lastly, what I'm going to say is this. That parent that in that video, she actually posted that video. She posted it because she had been trying to get her son help, and the doctors were saying like he might just have behavior issues. Come to find out, he was diagnosed autistic, and he does have several other disabilities as well. Now, I look at it as in that's something that probably saved her son's life. I looked at it as in maybe she posted this video because there's other parents going through the same thing, and she has questions, and maybe they can offer her a solution. What I am going to say is, if you do not have anything positive to say, mind your business. You guys have to understand that autism is on the rise. So 1 in every 2 people will be autistic. So how is half of the next generation going to deal with half of the population being autistic? How are you guys going to deal with that? Because guess what? Those are going to be the same people that work right next to you. Those are going to be the same people that serve you meals. Those are going to be the same people that you serve meals to. These are going to be the people that you have children with. These are going to be the people that are going to be your doctors, that offer cures for certain things and makes the world a better place. These aren't all bad people, and these aren't all bad parents. And everybody that thinks that they have the answer, I don't have the answer. So I know you don't have the answer. And on that note, just keep watching. I'm gonna post more videos. It's gonna be a range of topics dealing with things as a parent of a child with a disability, not just autism, epilepsy, CP, diabetes, asthma, ADD, ADHD, whatever it is. Like we all have, to some extent, we all have a disability, and it's what we do with those and turn those into abilities and possibilities. And have a good day.